Well, I've just come from opening the conference, giving the opening speech, and we are going to be looking forward to 3 days of fantastic speakers, opportunity for delegates to talk to each other, to learn from each other. It looks like a packed program, so everyone should be able to learn a lot during the course of the next 3 days. As we know, we're in the middle of a housing crisis in terms of building more houses of the right type needed across our communities, but also right now, of course, we're also all thinking a lot about the tragedy at Grenfell Tower. So everyone that's here today is obviously thinking to themselves about what they need to do to ensure that the housing that we provide is safe and secure for people who need it. And we are determined that we will do everything we possibly can at the Chartered Institute of Housing to support the sector to make certain that we have safe housing, including committing ourselves to making certain that this never happens again.
I'm O'Connell and I'm hosting the Fringe 2017. Well, the Fringe is a series of fantastic discussions, open sessions, questions and answers, where we really like to challenge the norm in housing, where we do things differently with innovation and energy. We've had a fantastic morning already. We've been looking at inspirational leadership, we've been looking at housing finance, we've had questions from the delegates, we've had loads of energy, and they've really challenged some of our speakers this morning already, so it's been great.
Grenfell Tower has refocused, and absolutely rightly, the national conversation, politicians, the media, on the state of our social housing. That burnt out hulk on the skyline of one of the world's wealthiest cities is a rebuke in many ways to us, the whole country. We haven't spent enough attention on this. Now, I think at one level, you will now obviously get a lot of remedial action, making sure high-rises are safe. There's going to be lots of money probably spent in that area, lots of attention. My worry is that will address the symptoms of the problem, but we won't get down to the root causes of it. I hope we do, but my worry is they won't, because we need to do more than just fix that safety problem, huge though that is, and it does need fixing, honestly, but then we need to move on and talk more widely about social housing and the social housing challenges we've got in there.
It is a film made by people who have set out to challenge the housing sector. They're mainly young people, admittedly they are angry people, they're professional filmmakers, but more importantly they are tenants and people who live on the estates of London, Nottingham, Glasgow and elsewhere in the country. People who in the past haven't had a voice. This film gives those people its voice and actually challenges some of the things we take as the norm in the housing sector. They challenge the fact that we're no longer housing the people in the greatest need. They challenge the fact that we're beginning to redevelop areas and carry out what they see as social cleansing. And they challenge the fact that we no longer care. We're no longer the saviours. We're seen as the villain, we're seen as the enemy. And I actually think everyone in social housing should watch this film because they need to ask themselves that question. Are we still doing what we were set up to do?
There's two big ones really. One's a current one, which is how on earth are organisations going to collect the 2/3 of their income that they currently receive through housing benefit when that transfers to universal credit, and just how many more people are you going to have to employ to collect what will be the same amount of money? The only way we believe at Halton to do that is to radically change the way that you offer the services with a shift to self-serve, and that then frees up resources to be able to focus and provide intensive support for those group of customers who really need that, who currently don't receive that. The second thing we were chatting about was about the fact that housing services are really inefficient, both for a customer and for housing organisations. What do I mean by that? Well, basically they work on a blue light service. They're reactive, we wait for things to happen, and we have this army of people who then rush out in a really uncoordinated way to sort things out. What we're looking at is a combination of using data, sensors, IoT type stuff, and also local knowledge, so that we shift that from being reactive to being preemptive.